Hi, it's Natalia with Enchanted Herbals and the Rooted Womb. Today I want to talk about what it means when I say food is medicine. I say it fairly often, so I started wondering how people pictured that in their mind, what it meant to people when I said that. And I thought I would just do a video on sharing what it means to me and how important you are and your body is. So if you think about living life in that beautiful body that you're in, you can only function and do the things that you love if your body's working properly. So why not put it first and foremost in your life in taking care of yourself? So one of the most important things you could do is self-care and self-love. Because if you don't have your body, you have nothing here. You're not here. You're not involved in living this beautiful life that you've been given. So the things that you can control is how you think, how you move, and what you put into your body. So for the most part, we are able to choose choices on those three categories. So when I talk about food being medicine, I talk about, or it refers to, what you're putting into your mouth can bring you health and vitality, or it can begin to break you down and eventually lead to illness, disease, other things in the body. So the body's main function is to survive right here, right now. The physical body in its responses does not think about the future. It only thinks about right now. So it'll break down anything that it needs to in the body to protect vital organs. So say you're not getting enough calcium for the heart to function properly, which the heart is much more vital than your bones. Your body will start to break down bone to create a pathway to get these calciums, to get the minerals that it needs to protect the heart. So depending on how strong your bone structure was to begin with, could take years, decades down the road before you start to develop osteoporosis. Or maybe it takes a few weeks, a few months, a year, a much less time. So it just depends on how strong your original constitution is and how strong your body is to begin with. So when you think about that, you think about, okay, what am I eating to support my body's functions? Your body needs numerous amounts of minerals and enzymes and vitamins and proteins and fats to function properly. Each cell needs a certain ratio of electrolytes and healthy omega-3s to create a healthy shell around it that's permeable, that lets in and lets out things that are needed, or lets go of things that aren't needed. So when we're not getting this nourishment, what happens to those cells? They don't function properly. So when we don't have a cellular function that's working in a proper manner, then everything starts to break down. Eventually it starts to pull on one system or the other, and then you have some sort of illness or disease later on. Now, I don't say this in a negative, big black clouds coming over you kind of a way, but I say it in an empowering way. Because you have that choice. You have the choice to eat quality foods packed with nourishment that feed your body and make you a stronger person. So when I say food is medicine, or when you hear that term, the first thing you should reach for in your medicine cabinet when you're not feeling well, or the body's becoming inflamed, or you can tell that your vitality is starting to drain, is food. That's the first thing you should reach for. So for example, say you're starting to get stiff, maybe even just in the morning, your joints hurt, maybe your feet hurt. It takes you a minute to kind of get going. You'll know that you're creating some sort of inflammation response in your body. So let's find out why. So are you eating well is your first go-to. How is your diet? What are you eating? Are you eating a lot of sugars? Are you eating a lot of foods that you know you have a problem digesting? What is going on with what you're eating and you're taking into your mouth? So that's the first line of defense. So say you do have some inflammation starting to brew in some of your joints. You're going to really want to focus on a high anti-inflammatory diet, like the Mediterranean diet, or instead of saying diet, I will say lifestyle. So like the Mediterranean foods lifestyle. Dr. Andrew Weil has a great food pyramid. It's a real food pyramid that you can look up, that you can follow. I respect him greatly, but he does recommend a lot of soy products, and that for me, I don't generally recommend that. But that's the only thing on his beautiful food pyramid that I kind of contemplate when I look at it. Of course, if you look at any healthy lifestyle and you're like, well, that food just doesn't fit with me, then don't do that food. Respect the body. So we have to remember that the body has no words. It only uses feelings and sensations to tell us what's going on. So when we ignore those feelings and sensations, or we take something that takes away that response, then what is that doing down the road for us? What is that doing to our foundation? What is that doing to our long-term health? And that's what you really want to think about. So another example of food as medicine is when you don't feel good. Say you're getting sick, you have a cold, your body's tired, you have the flu, something doesn't feel right? It's an acute response. You're not going to want to eat a really heavy, high-fat meal where your body has to use its energy to digest this big meal when it's trying to use its energy to feed the immune system to get you better. So you'd want to eat things that are supportive to the body, things that are nourishing to the body, things that allow the immune system to become the powerhouse that it is and really start to get you well. That's the immune system's job. It's there to protect you and it's there to keep you well. So we've seen a lot of autoimmune disease showing up in the world today. And it's all food-based. It's all how we're eating. It's all the quality of food we're eating, where we're getting our food from, the quantity of the food we're eating. So if you think about that, you have a lot of power in your hands to be well, to be vital, to be strong. So the first thing that you're going to reach to is food. Food is medicine. If you have a deeper chronic issue that's been going on for a really long time, or something that's really hard on the body, like serious autoimmune diseases, cancer, things that are really potent, food is only going to help the problem or hurt the problem. So if you still eat a high nourishing diet, one that's really feeding and full of vitality for the body, you have a better chance of overcoming what's in front of you. So what we also do in those deep chronic states is we start to add in more really potent herbal remedies, like infusions, like herbal extracts, so tinctures, different kind of tonics that you really want to start inundating the body with as much antioxidants and a much immune support as you possibly can to help you go through that process of cancering or go through that process of autoimmune disease having. So it doesn't make you aren't cancer, you aren't autoimmune disease. You're going through that process for a reason. So just allow yourself, give yourself the gift of at least eating well, vibrant, alive foods to help you through it. I also do herbal consults. So if you are going through something that needs a little more support, I would love to help you. You could reach out to me and we could sit and have that nice one-on-one talk and figure out a nice game plan to get you back to wellness, to support your body in the best way that is needed at this time. So in the meantime, be aware of the foods that you're eating. Eat them as close to their natural state as possible. Always eat as many fruits and vegetables as you can. And when I say fruits, I mean like berries, ones that are really feeding to the body, maybe low glycemic if you're having an issue. If you're not having an issue, then just eat all the wonderful fruits. Balance it out with your proteins of whatever kind, whatever suits you, and good grains or legumes and beans, things that are high in fiber are really good for you. Know your body. If you eat something and it doesn't feel good, please stop eating it. Please know that you are worth greatness and your body is such a gift, and you have all the power that you need to keep it well, to keep any kind of genetics from switching on and off. Do your best and eat well. If you have any more questions about food is medicine, reach out. Otherwise, remember, mostly colorful, as many different vitamins and minerals in your colorful fruits and vegetables as you can to help build the body. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thanks for joining me for a moment. Have a good, healthy lunch, dinner, or breakfast.